Then, one day, to the horror and disgust of his friends, he decides he wants to become a stockbroker. So, in a borrowed suit, a borrowed ill-fitting suit I should say, he blags his way into a job as a securities analyst with a leading investment bank. He does that for a few years and he goes to Wall Street. A year into Wall Street he decides that corporate life really isn't for him. And he goes back to London and sets up a part-time business doing the same thing. He goes back to university to study composition. Then he meets his wife, who, 18 months into the marriage, decides that rather than spend another day with him, she would rather become a nun in India, and she did. He then falls into a fit of depression, and emerges from it sometime later to become an evangelical Christian, going around knocking on doors with a Bible and a glazed look in his eye. 2 years later, he decides that, much as he loves the people he's been with for the last 2 years, he doesn't really believe everything that they believe in, so he moves off to a remote corner of Wales, buys a big drafty house, leads the life of a semi-recluse for a few years, running his business, which by that time had become a full-time concern. Then, in 2003, he sells his business and goes back to work for his original employer. 18 months into that, he realises that he was right first time and the life of the corporate life wasn't for him. So he sells up, hits the road and goes off through Eastern Europe, India, Thailand, before arriving in Sydney, where he moves into the dodgiest part of town you can think of, in a house next door to a very, very noisy nightclub with a couple of electronic music producers, and goes to study sound engineering. At the end of his sound engineering course, he realises that there aren't any jobs for sound engineers, so he comes to Melbourne and starts working as a freelance copywriter and web producer. So if all that doesn't make me a gypsy, I don't know what does. Maybe I should have spoken with a fake Romanian accent or something. In fact, as I can't think of a decent way to finish my talk. So, my dear friends, my gypsy caravan is parked on your village green. But please, don't ask council to show you. Because I promise not to steal your chickens or stand on street corner with monkey or string and cut to collect the money. But maybe you'd like someone to tinker with your website, because I make it rise to the top of Google with gypsy magic. Or maybe you like someone to make a kaleidoscopic video slideshow. Make your business look like Gypsy Princess on Google. But maybe you would like to just come and spend some time chatting to a ragtag gypsy whose gypsy caravan has travelled through many a street.